Good morning, YouTube friends. Welcome back to the Sportster project. So here we are. The handlebars are on just like they were before, but I didn't like the way I had the wires routed. So I've run them around the back. Around the back of the handlebars and down and back through like they normally would be. These are supposed to be tank risers. I'm going to use these to push the tank back. And I'm going to cut this guy off and weld it back together. So let's see how she goes. So I've got the tank all taped up real good so that nothing happens to damage it when I make the cut here. What I'll do is first I'm going to put the tank on the bike without cutting this off and make sure it's going to clear the bars at full swing to each side. Make sure none of my wires get pulled, all that stuff. And if all my clearances are good, then I'm going to cut this off and bolt this to the bike and lay the tank on top and put a couple tack welds in it and then pull it back off the bike and weld it together permanently. And then we'll go get some gas and fire the thing up. All right, so that's all the steering we get lock to lock. It's not a lot, but it's all we get, so we're gonna have to live with it. Good news is, it ain't ripping my wires out. It ain't really screwing with my throttle cables. So, I think we're good there. I'll try and get the tank on there and see how we end up stop to stop with the tank on. Let's go where the holes are. And we're not hitting. So we're good, that's happy. Those will work. Let's go on front brake. So I'm using a piece of tape as a guide because the tank itself is in the way on the top and I don't want to damage that. I just want to cut this bracket. So I put the tape across the top and then pulled it straight across over the bottom so I'll have a line to go by when I cut this bracket. So if I'm careful and take my time and do this properly, I won't hit and damage the gas tank itself. I'll only cut the bracket. And I'm going to cut right at the edge of the tape. And that should give me a nice straight cut right where it needs to be. Now I'm going to get my flap wheel and just clean this up a little bit right here. I'm going to snug this up just enough that I can tip it up or down where I want it and make it stay. Just a touch more, I think. There we go. I cut just a little bit out of the back of this, so that'll lay nice and flat on there, and then I can weld it back together. Yep, I'm gonna put a couple tacks on there, then we'll take it off and weld it. Where a TIG welder would sure be nice. All right, we're welded and painted, and our paint should be cured enough. It's still a little sticky, but we can unwrap the tank. Now's the time. If I let it cure all the way, it'll mess it up. So I'm going to unwrap the bottom of the tank, and then I'll do the sides and the top once it's on the bike. Little red Loctite on these front screws. The fact that everything fits together tells me I must have done something right. get the rest of this tape off. Well, what do you think? How's she look? I think we did okay. The new seat's not going to sit exactly the same way the old one did. The front of it's going to end right about here. Right up against the tank right there. The old one came further ahead. So I think I chose the right one for the way I had to relocate the seat, because I don't think the original tank's going to fit back on. Or seat, rather. And I don't want to scratch up my tank to find out. So I got a little fuel overflow that goes right there. I'm going to put tape on my wrench so I don't scratch my valve. At least that's the idea. We'll see how it works. That's going to work just right. So far so good, no leaky. And turn that on. Put a little more gas in. Still no few leaks I can see. Let's fill her up.